The last straw. Eli Navarro kept his shoulders tight and his eyes down as he weaved through the hallways of Lincoln Ridge High, careful not to bump into anyone or draw attention. At 15, he was thin, awkward, and unassuming, exactly the kind of target that thrived in the brutal social ecosystem of high school bullies. He wore thick glasses that slightly magnified his hazel eyes, a neatly buttoned shirt with a pocket protector, and a calculator watch that hadn't been cool in any decade. His brown hair never seemed to stay flat, no matter how many times he tried to tame it, and his limbs seemed too long for his frame, making every movement slightly clumsy. But what no one at Lincoln Ridge knew was that Eli had been training in mixed martial arts since he was 9 years old. 3-time junior state champion. 6 years of learning discipline, defense, and self-control at his Uncle Javier's modest dojo on the east side of town. His bedroom at home was a quiet shrine to trophies, medals, and honor, none of which he ever talked about. Because his uncle's rule had always been clear: use it only to protect, never to impress, never to intimidate. So Eli endured. "Hey, look alive, nerd," boomed a familiar voice behind him. Trevor Banks. At 16, Trevor was the golden boy of Lincoln Ridge quarterback, son of the school board chair, always dressed like a walking endorsement deal. He was flanked by his two closest friends, Josh Fielder, wiry and constantly smirking, and Malik Drayton, squat and mean-eyed, the type who'd find joy in kicking a puppy. Trevor always smiled when he insulted Eli. That made it worse. Eli didn't reply, just kept walking. "Don't engage. It's not worth it." He'd only been at Lincoln Ridge for 3 months since his dad's promotion forced the family to move states. From the first week, Trevor had made him a personal project, mocking his clothes, knocking books out of his hands, even tripping him in front of the entire cafeteria once. And nobody stopped it. Teachers looked the other way. Other students laughed or stayed quiet, afraid they'd be next. There was only one person who sometimes gave him a different look: Layla Reyes, a quiet junior from his AP chemistry class. She never said much, but her eyes were kind. Still, kindness from the sidelines wasn't enough to stop what was coming. By the time lunch rolled around, Eli had already been shoved into a locker and had his homework stolen and defaced with crude drawings. He sat alone at the end of the table in the cafeteria, unwrapping his sandwich when a milk carton exploded next to his tray. "Oops," Trevor chuckled as he walked by. Eli looked at the brown stain on his shirt. His stomach burned, not with embarrassment but with the effort of staying composed. He knew he could end this. In less than a minute, he could have Trevor, Josh, and Malik on the ground, whimpering. But his parents had sacrificed everything for this move, for a safer life. He couldn't risk blowing it up with a suspension or worse. That afternoon, during gym, the boys made sure Eli was picked last for basketball. Again, Josh groaned dramatically when Coach said his name. "Do we have to take him?" Coach didn't notice the elbow to the ribs or the ball thrown just a little too hard at Eli's face. Only his reflexes saved him from a bloody nose. Trevor sneered, surprised, but covered it with a smirk. Later in the locker room, Eli tried to leave quickly, but Malik stuck out a foot and sent him sprawling. His glasses skittered across the floor. Laughter erupted. Someone said, "Bro can't even walk straight." He retrieved his glasses, unbroken, and left. That night, he hit the heavy bag in his garage until his knuckles were raw. His uncle's words echoed in his mind. "You don't fight unless it's the only option. Not because you can't, but because you can." 2 more years, Eli told himself. Just get through 2 more years. But the next day broke him. He arrived early and left his backpack on a bench outside the cafeteria while he went to throw out some trash. When he returned, Trevor and the others were lingering nearby, laughing too loudly. Something was off. The zipper was slightly open. He felt a heaviness in the pit of his stomach. When he slung the bag over his shoulder, something warm and wet leaked through the back of his shirt. The smell hit him a second later. It was unmistakable. Dog feces. He froze. Gasps spread like wildfire. "Oh my God," Josh shouted. "He's got crap all over him." Phones came out. Laughter exploded around him. He felt it seeping into his clothes, destroying his textbooks, his notes, even his laptop. Looks like our little math whiz had an accident, Trevor said, doubled over with laughter. Maybe he's too busy calculating to find a bathroom. Eli didn't move. He stood perfectly still. Inside, something crumbled. 3 months of biting his tongue, of walking away, of pretending it didn't matter. That version of Eli Navarro died in that moment. He calmly removed his glasses and set down his backpack. "You think this is funny?" he asked, his voice low, eerily controlled. Trevor snorted. "Hilarious." Eli nodded. "Then you're going to love this." It happened in seconds. Before anyone realized what was going on, Malik was on the ground, wheezing, clutching his gut. Josh lunged and was promptly flipped onto his back with a thud that knocked the wind out of him. Trevor blinked, stunned. "You're dead, nerd," he roared and charged. Eli moved like water. He ducked the punch, jabbed twice into Trevor's ribs, and swept his legs out from under him. Trevor crashed down, dazed. The students around them had stopped laughing. Silence fell as phones recorded something they hadn't expected: one boy dismantling 3 others with calm, lethal efficiency. Malik got back up and tried again. Eli countered with a strike to the chest and spun away, catching Josh's next clumsy attack and slamming him down with a judo throw. Trevor came in wild, and Eli punished his recklessness with a roundhouse kick to the temple. "Stay down," Eli warned, panting lightly. "You don't want this." But Trevor's pride wouldn't let him quit. He swung again, blind with rage. Eli stepped inside and delivered a brutal 3-hit combo, 2 body shots, and an uppercut that sent Trevor crashing backward. Josh tried one last time. Eli caught him mid-motion and drove him to the ground with precision. Malik backed away, hands raised. "We're done," he mumbled. Eli stood in the center of the circle, covered in filth but standing tall. "I've been a state champion for 3 years," he said, his voice clear. "I trained 6 days a week. I could have done this any time. I just wanted to be left alone." A teacher, Mr. Callahan, burst through the crowd. "What the hell is going on?" "They put dog crap in his backpack," Layla shouted. She held up her phone. "I have the whole thing on video. They've been bullying him for months." Other voices chimed in, emboldened now that the tide had turned. "Mr. Callahan looked stunned. "All of you, principal's office." "Now." Eli said nothing, the adrenaline fading. The crowd parted for him, eyes wide not with mockery, but with awe. It wasn't how he wanted to be seen. But maybe now they'd stop. In the principal's office, his parents were called. His dad brought him clean clothes. He was allowed to shower in the gym before the meeting. Principal Halverson listened carefully, reviewing the video and taking statements. There was no denying it. Trevor, Josh, and Malik were in serious trouble. "There will be consequences," the principal said. "You'll get detention for the fight, Eli, but no further punishment." On the way home, his father said quietly, "I don't like that it came to this. But I understand." "I know," Eli murmured. "I lost control, but I couldn't walk away anymore." His mother reached back and squeezed his hand. "Just don't make a habit." "I won't need to," he said. The next day, everything changed. The video had gone viral at school. Whispers followed him down the halls, but they weren't mocking anymore. Students nodded, gave him space. Some even apologized. At lunch, Layla sat with him. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah." "You really are something, Eli Navarro." He smiled sheepish. "Thanks." Soon, he started a self-defense club. Mr. Callahan sponsored it. He taught basic blocks, counters, breathing techniques. Layla joined. So did others. "Most fights should never happen," he told the group. "But if they do, be ready." One afternoon, he caught Malik watching through the gym door. No mockery, just quiet interest. Eli nodded. Malik nodded back. Later that night, Eli stared at his wall of trophies, then at the new one forming inside himself. Not the kind you place on a shelf, but the kind made of courage, dignity, and knowing when enough is enough. And for the first time in months, he slept peacefully.